No, when people tune into the show, it's literally like chat roulette. It's like, what are they going to get? They don't know if it's going to be just me by myself, or they don't know if it's going to be you and I, or they don't know if it's going to be you, myself, and the other dude, Josh, or they don't know if it's going to be me interviewing rock stars or us interviewing rock. No one knows. It's just both fantastic and I would imagine maddening to people who are trying to figure out what the show is.
Yeah.
Don't you think so? Like, doesn't it frustrate you?
It's like the
Doesn't
lottery.
doesn't it like it like haunts you at night, doesn't it? How many times
What's gonna happen?
how many times have you texted me in the middle of the night and you were like, Chris, what is our show? How many times?
It's like too many to count.
Too many to count. This week, you're listening to the Newberg podcast with Newberg and Hannah. I am J. Chris Newberg, and of course, here with the lovely and talented
Little Hannah.
Yes. Excellent. Well, today I'd like to talk about my favorite thing in the world, weird shit that happens to my body as I age.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I want you to know the other day I was on my phone and I was scrolling and I pulled a muscle in my finger from scrolling.
I mean, like, I hurt my hand the other day, but that's because I'm carrying a bunch of shit at a restaurant. But that's crazy.
Scroll finger. I have this. It's huge. It's scroll finger. I looked it up. It's a thing.
It's real?
Yeah.
Oh,
you can hurt yourself scrolling.
What is the world coming to?
I don't know, man, but I guarantee we're getting older in many ways is spectacular. So much fun. I love it. It's great because it's like the older you get patience. You know what I mean? It's just like there's an old joke that I always talked about for comedy, and it's like there are these it just explains old age perfectly. It's like there, and it's from the movie Colors, with Sean Penn and Robert Duvall, and Sean Penn is a young cop. Robert Duvall is the older one, and he says, he's like, there's these two sheepdogs, and they're sitting on top of a hill.
Okay.
Okay, and there's an older sheepdog and a younger sheepdog.
Mm-hmm.
And the young sheepdog says, hey, let's run down there and fuck one of those sheep. And the older sheepdog says, no. Let's walk down and fuck them all. And in a way, it's a little crass, but it shows patience and, versus eagerness. And that's why I think the balance of our show is basically me saying, let's walk down, and you, like a young sheepdog, like to run down that hill.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Isn't that the case?
I mean, I do feel like I have a lot of patience in my life, but there are certain situations where I'm like, oh, God.
Let's review that sentence. The frequent listener will remember a story about how you were on your way to a gentleman's house and you jumped out of the car while it was still moving. That, to me, is not an example of patience. What example were you referring to?
I have a lot of patience for people in general. And I would say I gave myself a lot of patience in that situation. I let it go on for 6 months when maybe I should have gotten out sooner. Mm-hmm. But within a situation, there are certain instances where I don't have the patience. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe it's like the little bit of toxicity in me where I'm just like, he hasn't texted me back, or like, little ways like that where I don't have the patience. But overall, I'm a very patient person, especially with differing personalities. I can really put up with a lot of shit.
I think that you're tolerant more than patient. I don't know if patience is the word I would use.
You might be right.
I think that you're very tolerant, and you have a very good sized threshold for pain, emotional pain mostly.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't use patience as a word. No. No disrespect. What's happening in your crazy love life?
Well, honestly, nothing. There's nothing going on right now. I haven't heard from Will. Oh my gosh, my dog just unplugged my computer. Move, 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 move. Wait, 5 seconds.
Suddenly our show looks like porn.
Okay, it's fine. My computer's not gonna die. Okay. I haven't heard from Will.
Okay.
I
Will is the most recent one.
Yes, last time I talked to him was a week ago today when
Okay.
he was still gone, and then he was like, "Oh, like let's chat later, like let's FaceTime." And I was like, "I'd love to, but like you say that, and then you never follow through." And then guess what happened? I tried calling him, he didn't pick up. I even called him a few days ago, and I was like, "Hey, let me know when you're coming home. Do you need a ride home from the airport?" Nothing. He got home Monday. Didn't let me know. I just like happened to see on like Find My Friends that he was at the airport, and then immediately turned off his location. And I was like, cool.
Can you as a person who's not like hip with technology, can you tell when someone else is looking at your Find My?
No, I would be in deep doo doo if you could do that.
How many times a day do you check his location? How many times
Well,
have you checked it today?
today 0 because he turned his location off, so I have nothing to check.
Okay.
But
But you don't when did he turn it off?
the day he got back to LA on Monday.
Do you think that's a shady sign? Like, do you think
Of
that that's
course.
like, do you think that has to do with you or the fact that he's like into
Oh,
some shady shit?
and it's for sure like he didn't want me to know where he was, which is just annoying because I'm like, why would you tell me before you left that like you can't wait to see me when you get home, and then you get home and you turn off your location, and then I get a text from one of our mutual friends being like, oh, he's at the bar, and I'm like, cool.
Which bar, Barney's?
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe he's tainting the sacred house of Barney's.
I mean, that's where we met, but I'm just like, oh gosh. I'm like, okay, so he turned his location off so I wouldn't know like where he was going tonight, clearly.
Right?
But
Okay.
I wouldn't have even gone to Barney's because, as I'm sure if we have, some frequent listeners that know my life story, I've been hanging out with Music Man this last week.
Music Man. Now, Music Man, for people who are unsure, is the gentleman that you were obsessed with for many months prior to the current obsession.
Yeah.
So you've been now hanging out with Music Man again.
But it's not like that. He has a girlfriend, and I'm obviously still like very emotionally invested in my Will situation. But it's been honestly, it has been so much fun. He really resurfaced at like the perfect time to like take me out from spiraling over everything else that's been going in my life.
Right?
Um, and he just like needed help with some things because he's leaving town, and I guess I was like the only person he thought of to like help him and be there for him. And honestly, like we really just had so much fun, and it really reminded me of like, wow, like I forgot like why I liked you so much. And there was like for a second where I was just like, damn, like I do miss Will. Like I realized that Music Man was just like more like fun and unserious and lighthearted, and I really have like deep passion for Will. But then as me and Music Man kept hanging out, I was like, oh, like it's funny. There's like two like differences going on because when I first started dating Will, I was like, wow, like Music Man would have never treated me this way. Like Will's so sweet. He's this, he's that. Like, he really shows up for me. And then obviously now that I've seen like a lot of Will's true colors, now that I've been hanging out with Music Man, I'm just like, oh, like Music Man would never take his anger out on me. He would never you know, there's just a lot of differences that I was just like, oh, like this has been so refreshing and so fun, and we really just had a blast. And I dropped him off at the airport yesterday, and the second he got out of the car, I cried my way home because I was just like, damn, like he really, for the last year, like that was 6 months of my life where he was like my quote unquote like my person in a way, like he really took up a lot of time, a lot of headspace. And I'm, even though like we're just friends now, like it was really sad, it was really bittersweet, and it's kind of funny how the universe tied it up in a little bow.
Well, that's what you wanted.
It is, but like it's like bad to say because I'm like, oh, hopefully no one sees this. It definitely was like, I felt like there was definitely like unfinished business, but like we didn't walk that plank at all.
Okay. And you said he's moving. Is he moving out of state?
Yeah.
Where's he going? Nashville,
No,
Austin.
he's going back home for a little bit, then he's going to London for 3 months, and then he wants to try to move to Paris. And
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Good for him. Good luck to him. Good luck to Music Guy. Um, yeah, that's crazy. But okay, and just touching on Will, the current person, the current mistake, if you will, respectfully. Um, is he into drugs? You don't know. You suspect.
Once
Because it
once
seems.
upon a time,
Mhm.
yes. And then obviously if you want to count like alcohol as like a so to speak drug, but he has been sober for the last month.
So when you guys got into a fight at your apartment when you moved in, like when he decided to have a fight with you and break up with you at the day you moved in, on the day that you moved in, he broke up with you because he's a good person, because he's a great, good decision making fella, breaking up with you the day you're moving in, you're holding a couch and he decides to lay this on you. Was he sober?
um I think he had like a drink in him, but that's about all I'm aware of.
So he was drunk helping you move.
He wasn't drunk. He had like one drink.
Okay, so are you defending
No,
his consumption?
no, I'm just stating for a fact I know he had only had like one beer.
Okay. All right. All right. So one beer. And how many beers did he have when he made the decision to tattoo your name on his neck? How many beers do you think were in him then?
I couldn't tell you.
Several beers, I bet.
Yeah.
Was it more than beer, or was it like hard alcohol, or was it just Michelob Ultra?
No, I think it was like White Claws.
White Claws. Ain't no laws when it comes to claws, baby. Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I was like telling Music Man like bits and pieces about my situation, and he was like, "Wow," he's like, "He got your name tattooed on him." He's like, "Why was the relationship so short lived?" I said, "I don't know. Like, he did a whole 180 on me, and he's being a bit of a dick now." And Music Man is like, "Well, that's dumb. Like, that's really dumb of him." And I wanted to be like, "Oh my god," as if like I didn't hang out with you for 6 months and you like low key didn't do the same. Like, obviously, he didn't do me as dirty as current situation has, but I'm just like, dude, like he was giving me this whole pep talk. He's like, "You're so great, you're so desirable, you're so likable, like don't ever for a second like doubt yourself." And I'm like, right, that's why you didn't want to date me after hanging out with me for 6 months straight.
But I think that's great though, because he's moving. You would be a mess because then you'd be all like, "Should I move to Paris?" You'd be a mad person. You love hard, buddy. Like that's your thing. You do that. You go all in on these relationships, and it's just like, and it's not mostly in. It is a level of commitment that is impressive and horrifying to some. And I think that like I was reading this thing today about how Leonardo DiCaprio is 50 years old, but he feels himself that emotionally he's 32. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why he picked 32, but he feels younger emotionally. Now,
Yeah.
men develop much later when it comes to feelings and like I guess their sense of self and mental confidence and being in touch with who they are much later.
Yeah.
And you are hanging out with these people who are not quite emotionally 32,
Yeah.
and you're scaring the fuck out of them but by just being yourself, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, so like your pattern of dating, like let's just like walk me through this.
Yeah.
So let's say there's a new guy, okay, a new person, and I'm not trying to get you to not think about Will or obsess less over the Music Man not resolving itself. I'm just saying, just in general, offer me an insight,
Okay.
because I don't know. So you go on a date with the guy and it goes
Mhm.
great.
Okay.
How long until, and just answer these questions with simple answers.
Okay.
Just answer, how long until you're hanging out with him every single day? The first date was amazing. Is it the next day?
It depends on the guy. It depends on the pace the guy sets, because with Will, he was very much so like, let's hang out, let's hang out, let's hang out. And I'm like, yes, let's do it. Whereas like Music Man, that was not an everyday thing. But I'm sure had he been like, let's hang out all the time, I would have been so down.
So it could be as simple as like if a date goes great with you, You could be hanging out every single day starting day 2.
I have a problem.
No judging. I'm just trying to get some
No,
information.
because like logistically in my brain, I'm like, I know, like I need to take things slow, I need to whatever. But like if someone sets the pace in that way where I think like, wow, they really like me and I feel like I could really like them, I'll give them that chance to be like, okay, yeah, let's hang out 24/7.
Okay. And then like you just would, so it could be immediate. Okay. Now how long after you've had a great first date and you're hanging out instantly does it become intimate? How quickly does it become intimate? Could it be as simple as the first date?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past me. I have before with Will. We waited a week.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, you're an adult. You're an adult woman. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have been in situations before where great first date lets the intimacy right there.
Yeah.
Okay. 3. Okay. So now, how long after you're hanging out with this person and you're with them constantly, you're fooling around every 5 seconds, and you're walking dogs and just watching TV and doing all the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you start having thoughts like, I could marry this person?
I don't know, because I feel like my brain likes to fantasize about anything, but like this is so dumb. Maybe like week 3, I'm like, oh my God, I can see my life with this person.
3 weeks.
Yeah. God, that's bad.
Wow, buddy. All right. And let's see. Question number 4. Okay. So you've now met this person. You had a really good dinner.
Yeah.
You've been hanging out 24/7.
Yeah.
It's been 3 weeks. You imagine a future with this person. And then all of a sudden they are like, they go radio silent. So just radio silent. They're just like, whoa, we're going too fast. I need to turn this down. How long after that sentence do you become cuckoo bananas?
ASAP.
Immediate cuckoo bananas.
No. Internally, yes, but it'll take me a little bit before I'm like really going off on the person. And it also depends. Like with the current situation, I saw like, little bits and pieces of like how like he could lash out and like be toxic, and in a way it created like a quote unquote safe space for me to feel like I can be a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But like with Music Man, that was very calm, cool, collected. And I internally to myself and all my friends, I was going fucking buckshit wild. But to him, I played it very cool until the very end where I really couldn't take it anymore. And even then I wasn't crazy. I was just kind of like, why? Why don't you see this with me? Why this? Why that? I don't rate the way that this happened, but I never went cuckoo banana pants on him.
Okay. Okay. That's fun. All right. So you've definitely you put so much, for whatever it's worth. It seems like you invest so much in the unknown of these other people without having, and I'm not, I mean, I've known you for what, 10 years, 5 years, a long time. I've known you for a minute.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. When did you move out here? How old were you when you moved out here?
I was 21 in 2018 when I moved here, and then I turned 22 like maybe 2 months after I got here.
Okay, so I've known you since 2018, so I've known you for like 7 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you ever thought about having the same level of like invested interest in yourself to work on yourself to then make yourself more solid, so that you would be maybe that they have to convince you instead of like you having to convince them? Have you thought about it?
Of course, I think about it every fucking day of my life. I'm like, what's wrong with me that like I don't put the same energy into myself? And like that's the one thing I would love to be doing. And I feel like every time I start to get myself back on that path, something pops up, something happens, and then I'm like, but also too, I have to sneeze. Achoo!
Bless you.
Achoo!
Bless you. That last one was a little dramatic.
Shh, dog. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Stop. Stop.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Animal.
Come here, dog.
Okay,
So,
go on.
What was I saying?
You were talking about how you often think that it would be a good idea to work on yourself, but something happens.
Right. I lost my train of thought.
You were like, why am I not good enough? That's what you said.
Oh. What I was going to say, though, is I don't know why this tends to be, but like, regardless of the fact that I do put all my time and energy into this other person, it really lights a fun fire under my ass to like want to be better at things.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like until I know that is like solid, it's I don't know how to explain this without like going on a whole rant, but like,
oh, please don't.
Like with Will, for example, like for that first month that we hung out, it was really just us getting to know each other and whatever, and it was great. It was fun. It was amazing. But and I knew that at that time he was like obsessed with me, and I thought that like, okay, after this month of just like really us getting to know each other, then I can really like be working on my own things and just have the relationship be on the side, and that's that. Whereas like with Music Man, I never had the solid confirmation of what was going on, and as much as I like wanted to be better for myself, I was fighting so hard to figure out what was going on. And as much as I wanted to portray myself as like I have my shit together, this, that, like I was obviously like whenever he needed me, I was at his beck and fucking call.
Did you ever get those quarters back? You didn't, did you? You didn't get the quarters back? Fucking guy. This whole thing was about him getting $10 in quarters from you.
God. Oh my God.
All right. Well, I think, thank you for answering my questions on that. I feel caught up, and I continue to root for you. Couple questions.
Yeah.
Couple of questions. Have you ever had a friend who like constantly wants to sleep with the people you introduce them to? Like you have a friend who constantly wants to bang your friends?
I've definitely, I feel like, have dealt with that throughout my life. Yeah.
And how do you feel about it? Is it like you're like, cool, I'm super happy that my friend wants to sleep with everybody I introduced them to, or are you like, nah, that's kind of annoying and I wish it would stop?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like definitely there's been times where I'm just like, okay, like who are you not gonna flirt with that I introduce you to? And like that can be annoying. But yeah.
I mean, it's like I don't really have any vested interest. Like I don't
Yeah.
care who this
Yeah,
person
yeah, yeah.
sleeps with, but
Exactly.
it just seems to be a pattern where you're like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
What's this about? What do you get? It just seems weird, and it's like I don't know. Just seems kind of strange. All right. I don't know if you read this or not, but I read it today, so maybe you didn't read it. Are you familiar with weight loss drugs?
Of course.
Do you have any friends who are on Ozempic
I do know a few people who have been on it.
And what was their experience like?
I mean, everyone I've seen go on it, it's worked pretty well for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they seem to lose a lot of weight, etc. I mean,
Yeah.
you're basically just starving yourself, is what you're doing. That's all
Yeah.
you're doing. You're just like, I don't want to eat
Sure.
ever again. Okay, so there was an article that came out today that said that a lot of people who are on Ozempic, Wegovy, or Minotaro are experiencing vision loss. That is funny.
That's not good.
No, it's not good at all. But it's funny
Yeah.
because you go on Ozempic to lose weight so you can see how good you look, and now you can't see.
Can't see anything. I recently had like a really weird vision thing going on with me at the beginning of June.
That's right, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, I could see, but I had like a really weird like blind spot and flashing light in my eyeball, and it's fine now. I kind of still have like a little bit of like a weird gray spot, but it was really strange, really, really crazy.
Can you imagine like, so can you just imagine like, so you told me once, you said, you can tell when I'm depressed because I'm wearing less clothing and I post more frequently. Those are your words.
Yeah,
So then you posted a picture of you wearing like, I always joke with you and say, so much stomach. Like there's just so much. And what if you could like you go out of your way for this thirstification and all of a sudden you can't fucking see it? Would you be so bummed?
I would be, yeah. Are you kidding me? Like I just spent thousands of dollars like trying to lose weight and I can't even see it.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Yeah.
That'd be terrible. All right. So I made up a bunch of inappropriate for our last 5 minutes. I made up a bunch of inappropriate work interview questions.
Okay.
So you're going to be the person I'm interviewing, and I'm your boss. Let's see how we do.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Hey, what's your name? Welcome to this great job interview today at Red Lobster.
I love Red Lobster. I'm so glad to be interviewing here.
Great. How do you feel about being paid and exposure and good vibes?
You know, I don't think I can support myself off of that. I need to make money for rent and life, and I don't think I can do that.
Do you always smell like Red Bull?
I try to wear perfume. I actually don't really tend to like Red Bull too often. You know, sometimes I'm tired. Maybe I'll take a sip here and there, but no, I don't think I always smell like Red Bull. Thank you.
Maybe that's me. Let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
like how many restraining orders have you filed against people?
I almost filed one. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
It would be, ironically, you kind of strike me as someone who someone would file a restraining order against. I'm just being the guy in the interview. I'm not talking about real life. It's just a vibe. Sorry. Let's see. Any plans in the next 6 months? Let's see. We've lost a lot of people here at Red Lobster.
Okay.
Any plans in dying in the next 6 months?
I sure fucking hope not.
Okay. Do you believe in
people who have left? They've all died, or they just left the job?
No, they die here.
Oh, at the job.
At the Red Lobster.
May I ask why? How?
No, you can't ask. But
right.
What we'd love to have you.
That's very alarming.
How are you with working 7 days a week, double shifts?
No, thank you.
Cool. So I only put you on the schedule for 6. How much debt are you in, and can I call your creditors for a character reference?
I'm in a little bit of debt for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to change your name to match the company brand?
And what would that be?
I don't know. Probably like Red Snapper. Like that's probably something like that.
Does everyone change their name when they work here?
I think they do. I think everybody changes their name. All right. This was fun. Okay, and then I'm just going to read you some of my recent jokes, and you can respond.
Yeah.
You can react. Are you excited?
I'm the most excited.
Okay, here we go. I'll just read you. I'll go back a little bit. They have birth control, but they don't have small child on an airplane control. Why don't you be a better fucking set of parents? They should make that. Good one? Yeah? Okay, let's see. Freakier Friday was way better than Thirstier Thursday. Nothing? All right, that's okay. I love when people say things like, I've never heard of you, as if that's the deciding factor whether or not someone else is valid or successful. Like, oh, Joe from Tulsa has never heard of me. I better just pack it in.
So true.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. You ever looked at a friend's Instagram photos and thought, wow, I had no idea how much I hated you until just this fucking second, but then you hit like anyway?
You know, I don't tend to like people's stuff if I don't like them, but I won't unfollow them because I'm nosy.
You won't unfollow?
Yeah.
That's good. Beating up a comforter is just punching down.
Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha.
I like that one. Let's see, 3 more.
Okay.
Don't be bored. My friend Alejandro has a half brother named Some of Handro. Come on, I've done stand up before.
That's a good one. Some of Hondra's good.
Thanks. Social media allows you to see people without seeing them, which I think is awesome.
Honestly, crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty nuts, right? It's
Like the way we used to just have to like call people and just like hope that they're home.
Yeah.
And now it's like I can track your location. I can see what restaurant you're at, what food you're eating, oh, what friends you're hanging out with. Like it is so the exposure is wild.
Yeah, it is true. Okay, last one. Pimples are just face presents that you get to open whenever you want.
I love that.
Yay.
Yay.
All right. Well, do the thing for our show.
All right, you guys.
What the fuck was that?
What? Today was Newberg and Hannah, and you can like, subscribe, comment down below what you want to hear from us. If you want me to go into the nitty-gritty details of like what actually happened this week, I can, but I thought I'd save everybody the trouble because it's actually a 2-hour conversation. We didn't have the time for it, but you know what? You let me know. I'll tell you. Anyways, find us on wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow us on Instagram and tune in next week. You never know what kind of podcast it's going to be.
Yeah, you never know if there's going to be an advice, guys. There's probably going to be one of those coming up pretty soon, I would imagine. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for sharing your stories, Hannah. And
always.
We'll see y'all next week.